Hey guys, today with the recent-ish announcement of Transformers the Movie Apology Tour, we're going to be looking at the reason that exists. Or not really the reason, but the toy that caused that reason. The G1 Optimus Prime. And to be even more specific, we are going to be re-looking at this toy because this is the very first video I made on this channel, actual review-wise. So yeah, we're gonna look at G1 Prime again today, and we're just gonna jump straight into it. We're just gonna jump straight into it. So here he is. Here he is, obviously in all of his glory, in his amazing semi truck mode or tractor trailer mode if you want to get super technical, but we're gonna call it a semi because we're not a bunch of nerds, or we are a bunch of nerds, but we're not gonna get that deep. But yeah, here he is in his semi truck mode, and this thing looks incredible. We're gonna take a look at Prime just on his own here for a second, and this is still one of the greatest semi truck modes probably ever. Just looks incredible. Obviously, he's lacking a little bit of detail here and like the bed where the hitch is and everything, but everything forward just is incredible. Love the chrome sticker. Obviously, mine is no perfect version. It's missing pieces. The chrome is wearing away. The bumper is broken, but still looks incredible. However many years later, just looks incredible. Just a perfect truck mode. Love the rims, so highly detailed. Just looks incredible. We'll put him off to the side over here, and we'll take a look at the trailer really quick. And once again, the trailer is super highly detailed, but it is, of course, more of just a box, obviously. Just that's kind of like what a trailer is, just a box to put whatever the semi is hauling in, but still very cool. I think mine has started to yellow a little bit. It's not the pure gray or silver that it used to be. It's more of a more yellowy, and then obviously you can see that this stripe on this side is awfully faded, when this side is quite a bit better. But we'll just start with the trailer. Just get straight into the combat deck. Just split this open, and there it is already. Once again, I didn't say this about the truck, but I don't have any like microfiber cloths or like those fancy dusting brushes, so we're gonna have to deal with the dust on this guy. As you can see, mine is starting to sag, and I bet a lot of people's are. Just time is catching up with these toys after being, well, this guy, I think this is a 85 version because he has the rub sign. So he's 41 years old, and I have played with this guy quite a bit in the time of owning him, but I absolutely love this guy. So as you can see, we have Roller and the little medic whatever, I don't really know what it's called, but we have him. I do have a Diaclone driver, so obviously he can sit wherever. I can make him sit here, and even inside of Optimus, but we won't. We'll just leave him off to the side. But I just wanted to show that if you have Diaclone drivers, or if you do have the Battle Convoy version of this, the Diaclone Battle Convoy, you can put, obviously the Diaclone drivers in any of the tiny little seats all around the combat deck and in Optimus. So I'll get to see if this can work, and I've never been able to get the landing gear fully out or whatever to get the combat deck, at least in this configuration, to sit perfectly level. So that's the reason why I'm holding it, is that it's either we're going to look at it like this, tilted back, or I'm just going to hold it. So we're going to try and shoot Roller off with this little plate thing, button looking thing back here, but it probably won't. Like I said, 41 years has done a number on this mechanism. Oh, barely got it that time. We'll just angle a little bit further forward, move Prime over here so we can get a better shot of him actually rolling. Obviously, that spring system has taken quite a number. over the years of not just me playing it, but probably the other kids, or at least one other kid that has played with this toy in the 40 years of existence. So this is I would say, the standard configuration of the combat deck. Obviously, you can see a ton of stickers for, because this is supposed to be like, the arc before, like, even Omega Supreme or whatever. This is like the Autobots Command Station back in 1984. But yeah, you can see like a little robot sticker, just some stickers all over. But it doesn't have to be like this. You can stand it up like so, and just blocked all of the light, and we'll raise the camera up just to show this off. So there's a little drone. You could probably work these joints to be able to make it, go down a bit more or whatever, but we'll just leave them up there and just come back down. But here is, a bit better look at, more of the stickers in here. Stickers and everything. But so there's like the combat deck, and it's like, repair bay version, because then the drone up here, you can do like this or whatever. And obviously joints are a little bit loose, but he can now do whatever because he's a bit lower to the ground, work on the other bots that aren't super tall. But this is just a good way to world build, because like I said, in 1984 there wasn't anything like that worked similar to the Ark. No base or whatever. And even Omega Supreme in 1985 didn't, kind of did something like that, but not really to the extent of, maybe this. But the repair bay, the trailer, the combat deck was definitely a good way to substitute that. So just to keep we're just going to fold everything back up into the trailer, keep him out of the way. But first we'll take a look at Roller really quick. I do have this. This is for like the gas nozzle or whatever. I do not own the gas nozzle, but I do own this piece. But here's a little Roller. Absolutely cool. Another way you can tell that this is the 85 version is that this is blue. The 84 version, I think, is either silver or like gray. It's not this blue. But yeah. So we'll just put him back, close this all up, and then we will get into the main event, as in Prime. And this is obviously not going to be super, super difficult because he does the standard Optimus Prime thing. We're going to flip up his toes, flip up the legs, swing the arms out. Let's bring him down, like so, and then flip up the head. And that is just such a masterful transformation. Just so, so cool. I do have, so this is the cartoon accurate gun that came with the G1 Legacy Universe Optimus Prime, the new one that just came out, the Deluxe. So I have this, and then I have this little fist that I made out of resin, and now my Optimus Prime can have a gun. He's still missing his fist, obviously, but now he at least has a gun and a fist. But that's how I like to store the other gun that came with the G1 Universe Optimus from Legacy. But yeah, this is just such a cool toy. Just looking at it, just aesthetically, it just fits into that category of just awesome robots like Mazinger Z, Voltron, like Getter Robo, all those toys of his era, maybe a little bit older than his era, but still, he fits right in. When you get to looking at it, at the face, just looks very much like them. The mechanical detail all over him with the stickers and everything. Obviously, because he's a truck, he looks different. He wears the Super Robot design differently, but he still fits in there with it. You can definitely tell that the inspiration was to have one of those Super Robots of the 70s to basically wear a truck, and I absolutely love that. Is that he executes that perfectly. He just pulls off the look so incredible. incredibly and amazingly. Just a masterful toy. Obviously, you can tell that mine is, had some time around the block because his arms are super duper loose, and all of that. But he's just, I can't even get mad at half the things because he does so much well. And yeah, he is old, he is dated, like he doesn't have a head, and you can fix that if you take his head off and like clip that little pin or peg, then you can make his head rotate. He does have pretty good articulation in his arms if yours isn't super loose like mine. His legs, I personally think it's dumb when people say that he has leg articulation. Like, yeah, he has a knee, but if his legs can't kick forward, he can't really utilize that knee or his toe. But it is sort of like a selling statement. But, his fists come off, they don't transform with him. He is not the most perfect toy on the planet. There are a lot of modern examples that are better. But the fact that this toy holds up so incredibly well today, and the fact that the G1 universe, Optimus Prime, and the missing link for Optimus are so widely successful, and they really didn't have to change much of the formula to this toy. And even for a lot of primes today, the new ones the great primes of today didn't have to change too much on this formula. Obviously, it's so simplistic that you can't, it's all up from there. But you look at the Masterpiece toys. You look at the original Classics Voyager, you look at SS86, or even better, more like Earthrise, all these great new Optimus Primes, and they all build upon the success of this toy right here. I absolutely love that, because this toy, even if it's not perfect, it basically is. Like, this is the groundwork for some of the greatest toys in the entire franchise, in my opinion. Just completely up there with like the Transformers Cybertron Optimus. Just such a masterful toy, just perfectly executed. Are there little quirks here and there? Yes. Is it completely by none perfect and without flaw? No. But is it easily one of the closest examples of perfection? Definitely, in my opinion. Just looking at this toy, like, you just know that it just has a presence to it. Like, it just does. I can't explain what that how that makes me feel, but it just has that presence of just being a super cool toy that changed toys forever. And just it's very difficult for me to explain this toy beyond what he really is, because what you see is what you get. It's just an incredibly awesome toy. Yes, it's dated. Yes, it's all that, but it's still a masterful example of why this toy going off shelves in 1986 and Optimus Prime dying was such a big deal. And it's all because, obviously, his character, but all because this toy was so well crafted that Bob Budiansky was able to make a character like Optimus Prime out of him, and why kids wanted to buy this toy, to own this toy, to have this character in plastic and die-cast form. Just this toy has had such a cultural impact on not just the Transformers as a franchise, but probably the world. And that's why I love this toy, is that it has such a significance to not just the Transformers, but the whole realm of toys and popular culture in general, where this toy was crafted with love, or I at least think love, by how well it is done. But ultimately, there's not really too much to talk about, because all the other versions of Optimus have more complex transformations, have bigger, badder gimmicks. When he's pretty basic. But he doesn't have to have all those bells and whistles to be called one of the greatest toys of all time, if not the greatest toy of all time. And I would probably die on that hill that he is easily in the top 10 of greatest toys of all time. Just by his sheer awe and revolutionary design, if you will. But yeah, that's what I have to say about the father of the Transformers toys. Yeah, that's what I have to say. So, till next time, see ya.